Ryan Brown from J. Ryan Brown Law. Today we're going to talk about immunity motions. These are very important in the state of Georgia, as well as other places, I'm sure, but we're going to talk about them particularly in the context of cases here in the great state of Georgia and what they are. So an immunity motion is a motion filed with the court that asserts that the defendant is immune from being prosecuted for various reasons, right? The most common reason that we deal with is a situation where the defendant is saying, I was acting in self-defense, right? So let's say someone is charged with aggravated assault for shooting at someone or for fighting someone, etc. And the defense position is that they were acting in self-defense. They were defending their home, they were defending themselves, they were defending their property, they were defending a loved one, etc. Georgia law is very gracious and generous towards people in allowing them to defend themselves. But sometimes cops and prosecutors, unsurprisingly, don't see it that way, right? They're looking to make arrests and put people in prison. And our goal is to prevent that from happening. And one of our tools is this immunity motion. And there's a couple big advantages to filing this motion. One is we are entitled to have a hearing on the immunity motion before trial. So it's not something that it's not something we have to wait until trial to assert, right? We have the chance to be heard in front of the judge without a jury on the immunity motion. And then if we lose that, we still have the chance to present our self-defense claim as a defense at trial. So we kind of get two bites at the apple, which is a huge benefit. The other benefits are you have an opportunity at the immunity hearing, just in case you do lose, to see what kind of testimony there are going to be from witnesses, right? Which is a big advantage. And if you win, the case is over, right? If the judge rules in our favor and says, hey, you're right, you were acting in self-defense, you're immune from prosecution, then that's a win for the defense, and we don't have to put your life and your liberty in the hands of 12 jurors, where the stakes are decades in prison if we lose, right? If you lose an immunity motion, the penalty is the case just proceeds, right? You're not going to jail or anything like that. And if you win, the case is over. So the risks are significantly lower for the defendant at an immunity motion. It's important that there's an investigation done, that witnesses are interviewed before that hearing, that the motion's filed appropriately, the correct statutes are cited, and that's kind of legal nerd talk, but it's important. And it's important to get in there and assert your right to have that hearing. Another context that is much more rare in my experience, but that immunity can come into play, is a medical amnesty situation. Georgia law provides that if you're in a situation where someone you're with is suffering from essentially a drug overdose, you can call 911 without fear of being arrested. And the reason that is in place is the legislature didn't want people to let their friends and family die because they were afraid of getting arrested if they called 911, right? Now, cops, prosecutors, cops are always going to make the arrest because they get bonus points for making an arrest, and we can't trust them to enforce the laws. They're there to do whatever, but the Georgia law does provide that there's immunity in that situation. But the main point is immunity motions, immunity hearings are a chance before trial for the defendant to assert to a judge, I cannot be prosecuted legally under the laws of this state. I'm here to prove that to you today. We're asking that you rule in our favor, and we're wishing that you make sure that this prosecution against me and my client don't proceed any further. And that's a powerful tool that we have. If you have any other questions about immunity motions, if you think you have a case where self-defense is appropriate defense to the charges that have been brought against you, please contact us at jryanbrownlaw.com. You can always call us, or you can text us at our phone number, 470-635-1725. That's 470-635-1725.